All right, Pick Central, Barstool's daily gambling show. First of all, thank you to Ben Mintz for sitting in for me yesterday and hosting the show. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
You'll also need to do it tomorrow. We're traveling to Chicago for the college football show.
Who's, I guess Rico will be back here with me.
Oh, you can. I never know. I mean, all the people that do their jobs and show up every day will be here, and that could include Rico as well.
Okay.
Actually, I promised him I wouldn't keep piling on him about 3 days a week. So yes, he will be here. He said he's going to be here, so he will be here.
But yeah, okay.
I still don't know if I am.
You don't know if you're going to be here? Well, Mush might not be here.
Okay. Well, I'll be here.
Either way,
Rico
you'll
should
be here. The
as long
mics
as we
will
got
be
two
here.
of us, we're good.
The mics will be here. You'll be able to do a show. You get Ange can come in. Anybody you want.
Get Megan, yeah.
Of course, you don't usually invite Ange because I know when you host, you don't like to have women on the show.
I'm gonna go out of my way to make sure Ange feels invited. She's all fired up about Villanova, Penn State too. I know.
All your colors run together there on that shirt, Ben. That shirt that wasn't really a compliment.
It's more of an observation.
Yeah, more of an observation. Hello, boys.
You.
All right, Marty, what's your comment?
So I got comments about the game tonight.
Okay, good.
I love the Texans.
Panthers.
Yep.
So, tell me this.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor.
Right.
Every team he's played for, once he's gotten hurt,
Yeah.
they have found their franchise quarterback. Baker Mayfield.
Will you stop doing this?
Because it's a good point.
Justin Herbert.
Herbert.
It's true.
Wait a minute.
Josh Allen.
Time.
Wait, let me finish. Herbert. Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield. Davis Mills.
Every team gets better once he stops playing quarterback.
Can I counterpoint?
I have one more thought.
All right.
Every rookie quarterback that has made their starting debut on Thursday night, 5-0 against the spread.
Okay, I think that's a better point. I like that point. But back to your other point.
Yep.
That's a ridiculous point.
Why?
All right, let's go through the list again. Tyrod Taylor gets hurt, and these guys sub in for him. Say the first name.
Josh Allen.
Number 7 pick in the draft.
Well,
Say the second name.
he didn't start over.
Say the second name.
Baker Mayfield.
Number 1 pick in the draft. Say the third name. Justin Herbert. Number 6 pick in the draft. These were all.
Hold on.
These were all going to be the franchise quarterback.
Davis Mills was the Texans' first pick in the draft.
Come on.
Yeah, it was.
It's true.
Come on.
That's a fact.
Did y'all watch Stanford play football last year?
Why they take
top 10 picks, guys. These guys were always
their first.
But why didn't they start over him?
These guys were always going to be the franchise.
But why didn't they start over?
But all the
they were slow playing these guys.
I don't know.
The rookie debut thing the first start. Most of them weren't first rounders. It was like Brett Ripon, Nick Mullins, Nick Mullins.
Yeah, I like Ripon.
Ripon sounds better.
His dad won a Super Bowl for the Washington football team.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about the football team.
Yeah, me neither. But those are all just valid points. Those are just facts. That's not even me making shit up. It's like, hey, he got hurt, and it was like, all right, time to throw in this guy, and holy shit, it's Josh Allen now? Wow.
I also don't think you have this right. The chat has pointed out, I don't think Tyrod Taylor and Josh Allen really – I don't think that works out.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that myself a little bit, but I was rolling with you.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you mean?
Tyrod Taylor, an injury to Tyrod Taylor did not open it up for Josh Allen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, he was there before him.
Josh Allen, I'm pretty sure, started week 1.
But he was there before him.
Okay, all right.
He played for Buffalo.
But again, you can't say Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Davis Mills. These guys are not the same.
But you don't know Davis Mills.
Yeah, we don't know.
No. These guys are not the same. Those guys were always going to be the franchise quarterbacks. Just a matter of when they got their first start. This guy is filling in just because we have no idea if this guy's going to be decent at all. The other guys, all we thought would be decent.
Well, that's the thing about rookies. You don't know because you never see them play.
I'll make another point just from a pure gambling line-looking perspective. If you're telling me the total's 43,
right,
and you're going to give me 8.5 at home, I'll take it.
So I have wrestled all morning with the spread. I sent TJ Texans +8, and then I said no, Panthers -8. And I said no, I was right, Texans +8. Finally, I just took it off the board entirely.
Also,
I'm off the board too.
Also, Texans 2-0 against the spread, 2 pretty easy covers.
Okay,
but it went down. Tyrod played so good week 1 and was like 10 of 11 against Cleveland, and then it went down. I don't know.
But Davis Mills, I'm not saying he set the world on fire, but he held his own.
Fair enough. I mean,
And against the Browns is a good fucking team on the road.
The one thing, too, about Houston, they got a lot of veterans on one-year deals that are just trying to be professional and hang on in the NFL. And I know that that's a weird thing to say, but, like, they're all going to be ready and play hard and all that stuff.
No, I think that's fair. That's
the
fair.
thing that we're not also talking about is the other team where they are fake 2-0. And they beat the Jets.
But wait a minute.
They looked pretty damn good last week, man.
If he makes the point that the Texans are 2-0 against the spread, aren't the Panthers also 2-0 against the spread?
No, they are. No, they are.
For sure.
Fair.
No, they for
it's
sure
fair.
are. That's a fair point.
Right.
But the Jets are abysmal.
Fine.
I think bottom two. I think it's them and
They're bad.
they're one of the worst teams.
Okay, you know who else could be in that
And-
conversation?
Who?
The Texans.
But
I don't think you can. I mean, they blew out the Jags. I don't think you can just say they're worse than them after they blow them out.
and
That's
keep up with the Browns, and the Browns are going to be a playoff team. And let me tell you, that man is, I get distracted too easily with this fucking Windows. The Panthers also played a Saints team that was very hyped up, and they had nobody playing that game. So this is and at home the Texans, you give me 8.5 points, I'm in.
I don't. Again, I can't make sense of the spread. Like if it were,
It almost makes too much sense to me, which is
Yeah.
bad.
But again, if Davis Mills is bad and the Texans can't score, I could see this game being a 17-3 game. I could see this being 21-6. That's why I think the under is the big play here.
Who did the Texans just take from their practice squad? The quarterback. He's the backup now. It's
Ben, tell him.
Oh,
It's a name that we all
Driscoll.
know. Yeah, Jeff
Driscoll.
Driscoll.
Weekend attack.
Yeah, Jeff
yeah.
Driscoll.
No, yeah, he played at Florida and then went to
Yeah,
Tech,
yeah.
and he was at the Bengals lines. Yeah, Driscoll.
Yep, no, I remember.
He can move, but he can't really throw.
Oh no, Jeff Driscoll's one of the worst quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, he can't really
he's
throw,
not
but he
playing.
can move. He can
Davis
move.
Mills is playing.
Davis Mills has got it. This is his time to shine. Like this is his time where it's like, if he plays well this game,
Right.
he is setting himself up for life.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Fair,
I also think that's kind of like a guys like Nick Mullins, stuff like that have played well in these games because how I see it, they don't really have anything to lose. Mills is a little different than Mullins. He was a 3rd-round pick. He was getting some hype out of college, but this is a spot like Marty said. He goes and has a good game.
But
He's up
guys,
for a long
what an
time.
opportunity for the Panthers. I mean, they came in, they're kind of building. They're not really
Yeah.
where they want to be. But they got to play the Jets, and they won that game. And then they were able to get a big win over the Saints. Now they go on the road against a bad football team. And make no mistake, whatever you want to say, they got this, they got that. They're a bad football team.
But they're not. We've seen through 2 games. They are not nearly as bad as everyone thought they were.
I don't know that we can make that determination yet.
I just think people thought like so. I just think it happens a lot in like fights and like when you watch fighting, and I think it happens in other sports too, where it's like you talk about someone so bad, like it's like they're not even a person standing there. Like you're just gonna walk right through them. Like everyone was hammering the Jags week 1. They smoked the Jags. Like this, like they came in and legitimately competed with the Browns, who's arguably a top 5 team in the league, and gave them like a decent game. They're not nearly as bad as everyone thinks they are.
My only other point is that at 8 or 8.5, every sucker in the world has got Carolina by 2 or 2.5 in all their teasers all week. I'm just want to.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good
I
point
am
too.
starting to think about some.
Also, the Panthers. Okay, so they hold the Jets to 14 points, whatever. The Jets are not a good offense. But then the next week, a Saints team that scored 38 against the Packers goes to Carolina. They score 7 points.
That was like Marty said, they were missing a lot on defense, which I know.
No.
I know that doesn't affect the offense, obviously.
The
but I'm just saying it was a
D line murdered the Saints up front.
But it was just a weird game.
Them.
Like it was just a weird game for them. I don't know. I'm on the Texans. I really like the Texans. I just think this is a good spot for them.
You think the Texans could win this game?
Little
I do
sprinkle
too.
bag.
Little money line? Little money line, Marty?
But this is. But see, what you're kind of playing the devil's advocate of like the square, which I'm not saying you're a square in general, but I just think like the Panthers, like they've looked so dominant. They just dominated the Saints.
Not what I've said at all. Not what I've said at all.
You didn't use the word dominate, but I'm saying how they went out, they smoked the Saints on the road or at home against a team that they had just smoked the Packers the week before.
You guys are also talking about you're talking about a team that isn't. You're talking about the Texans team and how good they've looked, but they don't have the same quarterback they had when they looked that good.
I think I'm more betting on that. I don't think the Panthers are that good.
That's kind of what I'm a little bit of what I'm saying. I'm doing a little bit of both.
That's what I'm saying.
That's part of it.
I'm not really betting on the.
I'm just not putting like the house on that they're just some world beaters. They're going to go out and just smoke them. Could they? Sure.
That's why I think the total's the play.
The over.
I like the under.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing, the primetime overs are 6-0 this year. You could say it's due maybe, but
Yeah.
Houston fast track too, indoors fast.
yeah,
fast track.
I
don't know.
I
mean,
think I'm
not-
just
I don't have
staying
an
on.
opinion
I don't
about
think I'm going to
it.
touch the
just
total. I think
playing
I'm
that
staying on the Texans.
You know what the Texans should do? Throw in Deshaun Watson.
That would be fantastic.
That's Marty's week 1 starter.
That would be fantastic.
That'd be really nice if they did that.
That's
You want
it.
to talk about some closing line value?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Davis Mills is playing because my play is locked in, baby. Ticket is already there.
All right. Well, that's Thursday night. I don't know.
Can we do a little the college game
Oh,
tonight?
boy. Can we do a little college? Yeah, we're going to do. So, what I brought today, I brought all the NFL lines. We're going to go down through them. And I have, this weekend, I have some college lines. I got to pick my notebook up. I have some college lines that I absolutely love, and then some that just scare the shit out of me.
Yep.
And there are 3 that just absolutely scare me to death, and I want to go over them with you guys. But yeah, let's talk about the college game tonight because you got Marshall, you got App State +7. I actually have 2 college plays tonight.
I do too.
Okay, all right. Are we both on the? What are you on?
I'll just say both. I have Marshall +7.
Yeah.
And I have the over.
Oh, you have the over. Okay, I do like the over because Marshall. In that big loss last week, they were up huge, by the way, and they came back and they ended up getting beat, but they can score. And
Yes.
they have a good quarterback.
The overs hit all 3 games this year for them. Their defense, I don't think, is very good either. App State's pretty good. Like Chase Bryce is a quarterback now. His guy was at Clemson, Duke. He's a solid player. And for me, just talking about the spread, App State's one of those teams, they just don't really blow people out. That's just
Right.
not really their MO. And I could just see, even if they are controlling the game, I wouldn't be shocked at all if even if you're watching the game and you're like, oh, they're clearly the better team, that it's still hanging around that 7 to 10 type range and backdoor.
That
Maybe
being said-
Marshall can hang in this game. I really believe that.
But that's what I don't know if I want to bet on Marshall if I'm kind of banking on a back.
Well, I'm not banking on the back door.
I know you're not
I'm just
banking,
saying
but,
I think they
that's
could.
the-
I'm just saying I'm describing the worst case scenario where they're getting dominated and then they're still right there.
You think
I think they have a chance to win the game. I don't think that's crazy. I think they're a legit team that, like he said, they have Grant Wells. As much as he fucked Rico in that game against Rice, he is a good quarterback. He's a good college quarterback.
I think
I like the over because I just think they're both going to be able to score.
I think what you're betting here is where's Marshall going to be at with their psyche? Because I think they're good enough to go in there and stay within 7 points of App State, but they just blew. I mean,
Yeah, they
absolutely tanked the game last week. I think they were up 40.
They're up 38-21, I think,
you.
and lost 42-38.
Yeah, I think they had been up 38-14 before that.
Yeah.
So and then they ended up losing 42-38, 21-point comeback in the fourth quarter. It was awful. But where are they at? Can they now go? Because Boone, North Carolina is not an easy place to play.
No, for sure
And
not.
App State will beat you up. I'm going to be on Marshall +7 too, but I don't like it.
So you're on
Is
the
that
over
his
as
actual
well?
neck?
Is that Davis Mills' actual neck?
Yeah.
I assume that's his neck. Yes, I don't think that's a Photoshop neck.
Wow.
Can we get Davis Mills?
Kind of like that.
His
that.
team roster
He
photo on the
sees
screen,
so
please?
much fucking over the line. It's crazy.
Too much neck, or
No, he sees over the line.
you like the you like the big
Yeah.
like a telescope, like an
Tall.
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, it's like-
it's basically a human periscope.
Yep.
Curb episode where they had the Paris.
Good
the,
vision.
The telescope. Remember that one?
No,
You're not a Curb guy.
I've watched 4 Curb episodes. I watched
Which ones?
Palestinian Chicken.
Oh, chicken boy.
I think I googled the best at once. I watched the one where he took the hooker
HOV
to
lane.
the Dodger game.
Yep.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
that one.
And I watched the one where he bought the little kid a sewing machine.
Did you see the meet? Y'all see the Meet the Blacks one when the Katrina refugees?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
were,
the sewing machine one
yeah,
is-
those were,
woo.
man.
Yeah.
That one's here's a SWAT sticker.
Right, yeah. I haven't seen many of them, but I tried to watch the best ones.
I can give you some.
It's a great. Well, I need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, you do.
Like on quarantine, I started going back and watching all the HBO shows I never watched. Like I watched The Wire during quarantine.
I can't believe you still watch Sopranos. You told me you were gonna.
That's
so
not something.
that's-
Yeah.
No, but that's amazing though. So you still have like
I'm
those
like,
are three.
I got a lot of TV ahead of me.
you have three
jealous of
shows
you.
right there where it's like those are people's favorites.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
The
I'm like
Wire-
jealous that I don't get to watch it for the first time.
And The
again. Like,
Wire,
you get to do that
like,
still.
and I think Zod just watched it. People are going to tell you season 2 sucks. I don't.
I thought
believe-
season 2 was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
I like. Oh, you're watching it still.
No. I when I watched it, I experienced the same thing. People said if you can get through season 2 because it sucks.
I liked season 2.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah. It wasn't like my favorite, but
It's
it was
just different.
Yeah.
No, season 1 of The Wire was like,
holy
yeah,
shit.
wow, this is really better than a lot. Of
Yeah,
TV.
the Drug War in 3 was awesome.
Yeah.
But I got current shows like I want to watch Succession that I have never watched.
Succession's
I'm
very
I'm
good.
not
Good
in
show.
on that. I'm not basically the entire HBO library I need to watch.
I refuse to watch Game of Thrones, so
Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet either.
I'm not gonna watch that either.
It's
We're
everyone's
about to get hated on by the
this might be the
chat.
only room in America that 4 people.
I
are
just don't watch. I don't watch Wizards and Wookiees and all
I
that
don't
shit.
either, but then they're like, "Oh, well, don't worry, it's not like that." Well, it is. There's just like kingdoms. And shit.
She's riding a dragon around.
Yes,
I
exactly.
can understand the aspect of them making it more like kind of humanizing it a little bit.
It is,
but
but
just the way the ending and everyone how bad the last season is, I think I just can't.
I have
bring
a
myself
tough
to
time
watch it.
watching any like. I don't even watch like what's that one show with the horses and the gambling?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's older time.
It's not Boardwalk Empire, is it?
No.
What?
Sneaky Blinders.
Peaky
Blinders?
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. I don't. Well, the first I
Sneaky
put it on.
Blinder sounds awesome.
Sneaky Blinder sounds better than Peaky Blinders.
I put it on. I saw the horses, heard the accents, got out.
And I have. I've never watched Breaking Bad.
Wow.
Good one.
I watched the first 2 episodes, and it didn't feel like it was for me. So
It is
I'll be
slow.
out.
It does
It's
start.
slow.
So have you ever watched Prison Break?
I watched the first season on Fox when it came back way in the day, but I didn't follow.
I actually
up
was
on
a big fan of Prison Break, probably more than most people.
I actually kind of miss watching shows on TV.
Remember when they had Prison Break running
Sunday
right into
nights used to be
24?
great.
Yeah.
24. The first run of 24 was incredible.
Favorite show. Jack Bauer is a legend.
I bet your dad loved 24 too.
No, he doesn't like.
Look at that
I'm
neck.
distracted by the net.
That man, he has to shave his entire neck. There's no gap between his facial hair and
Wow.
his chest hair.
That's unbelievable. That's a big neck. What an observation by you, Marty.
Yeah, it's a great
It
neck.
helps him see the field, man. The head on
Davis
top
the
of it.
Giraffe Mills.
He's got to be like prone to concussions though, because that head's just out there. You can't even duck that head. He's just sitting there. He's a sitting duck.
I mean, think to like target him, you have to like.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta do like a fish, like a filter fish.
What?
Rush hour.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Oh, okay.
And the blooper at the end where he just can't say it right. It just goes on
So
forever. Fulfill the fish? Yeah. But that was a fun little TV side road.
It
there.
was. We needed that.
Yeah, I need a good little TV side road. But I do. Sopranos, I don't know. I'm not a mob guy.
But it's not. I mean,
But you live, you're a
but
New
it
Jersey
is.
resident.
But it is.
No, of course it is. But
I think everyone's a mob
They
guy.
do a great job, like humanizing just the aspects of his like juggling the mob, like being the mob boss, but also just being a father of 2 with a wife, normal kid issues, like just all stuff like that.
should
The
title.
whole-
You are.
Yes, Martin.
You just watched it.
What
Correct.
did I just watch?
Sopranos. What the?
You watched The Wire, I thought.
Yeah, I watched it for the 3rd time, but I stopped like 2nd season, I believe.
But how did you love it?
Yeah, Sopranos, the best show. So it's for me, it's 1A, 1B with that and The Wire.
Yes, I feel like
best in
that's the
history.
common.
The second
same.
season of Sopranos is the best one.
think?
Amazing season. In
Okay.
my opinion, at
The
least.
deaths are awesome.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big death guy.
Really?
Stop.
That's the only reason I watch a
What?
show.
What? Stop.
find that hard to
I think
believe.
I think you're just. I think it's just Italian discrimination.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not a big death guy on TV. I don't really like a whole lot of death on TV.
What do you watch then? Fucking Barney?
My favorite dramas.
Didn't
were
you
like,
say you watch The Wire? People die all the time in The
Well,
Wire.
I didn't like it that much. I didn't like that part. The West Wing is one of my favorite dramas.
Oh, God.
I love that. What do you mean? Oh God, that's a fantastic show.
That's your favorite drama?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So you just like assholes.
No, I don't like assholes.
No,
It's
you
just-
do. Because you like murderers are sure.
You've
But-
never watched The West Wing.
No.
They're not assholes.
I feel like it's political something.
It is, but it's
The
got
West Wing.
a humorous slant. Like it's just very well written.
He wants people. He doesn't want like a bunch of guineas showing up and like
No, that's not what I
chopping your
said at
balls
all.
off. He wants like people showing up in coats and like throwing you in the back of a
He
blacked
wants
out
to watch
Tahoe.
people talk shit behind their backs.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think this is a normal.
He
thing
wants
by
people
me.
showing up in like a suit,
I
like
don't
a
want to
black
watch people's
suit,
heads
white
getting
shirt.
blown off every show.
That's not what it is, though.
He doesn't.
How
think,
can you say that?
No, you don't think
You
Italians.
haven't watched it. How would you know?
You don't think Italians are smart.
That
Like
yeah,
you
that
think you're
too.
better than the mob.
How did we get here?
You just
How
you're
did it get-
disrespecting Sopranos.
You're
We will
prejudiced
die.
against Italians.
I-
I'm
No,
re-
no, no.
I'm rewatching
No, I-
it for the 7th
You
time.
believe that he's
The movie
prejudiced
comes
against
on next
Italians.
week.
I never disrespected the
Yeah,
show.
movie October 1st.
I acknowledge that it's on the pantheon of shows. I
think you should give it a chance. That's what I think. You told me you were going to, and you didn't.
I'll
I
watch
think
a
you
show that I wouldn't watch if you watch Sopranos.
I want you to watch The West Wing.
Okay.
Is that on
watch
Fair.
HBO?
That's a fair. That's a really fair.
Oh, it's streaming on something. I don't know. It might be on HBO Max.
Okay,
don't know.
I will-
Or Peacock or something.
I will
I
watch.
haven't seen West Wing. Yeah, I'll watch West Wing.
You
if
may
you
want to
watch
wait till after
Sopranos.
football season, but
It's Tuesdays I can watch it.
Yeah.
Thursdays.
Maction doesn't
Which
start.
is your Wednesday?
Maction doesn't
These
start.
guys
for a
aren't
few
that
weeks.
busy.
Yeah, Maction doesn't start for a few weeks.
Yeah, I got nothing. I go home and there's nothing there. I don't got kids.
All right.
that you know
So
of.
that was good.
Yeah.
Again, fun. Yes, it's a sports show, Jim Pop. Shut the fuck up. We'll get to the picks. Every
We've
now and then.
actually been like such a sports show for the past month
Right.
and 2 months. It's wild.
We also start off. We gave you some deep. We gave you Texans. We gave you the college game too.
Yeah, we can talk. We can talk TV every now and then. TV, sports. It's all about being dudes, right? It's just a dude
Yeah,
show.
just
Barstool.
little bros just chopping it up.
Yeah. All right, sports. NFL lines or college football lines? Which ones do y'all want to go into first?
College first. It's sooner.
All right, we got an ad.
We did.
Why don't you hit the ad?
Let's
and then
hit
we'll
the
go
ad.
college lines.
We're talking about some Cuts clothing. Fellas, the sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and your wardrobe. Clearly, I'm a walking
Good
picture of
shoes.
that. Your fits need to be versatile, blending timeless style and comfort so that you look as good as you feel. For that, there's Cuts Clothing. Built for performance in the boardroom, the bar, or the gym, Cuts Clothing keeps you sharp wherever the game takes you. Take a plain tee, but make it Tony Stark. The bleeding edge of fabric technology meets the man confident enough to wear it. Cuts Clothing. It's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's office leisure apparel for the sport of business. Get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/picks. That's cutsclothing.com/picks for 15% off the only shirt worth wearing.
Before we get into college football, this one guy had a question. It's already scrolled off the screen, so I don't see his name. But he said, Brandon, do you have any Ryder Cup picks, and where does this event rank as far as you caring about it? I'm going to be honest. I watch all the majors, and I watch a lot of golf tournaments through the year. I have never been able to care about the Ryder Cup whatsoever. And I don't know why, if that makes me a bad fan or bad person, whatever. Ryder Cup just doesn't do it for me.
I know why that answer is true. It's because it's during football season.
That's what I was going to say.
If it was the
It's
majors
pure
or all,
timing.
if
it was the
That's
summer,
very simple and very
yeah,
close.
yeah, but if
July,
it was
you'd be
during
in.
August, you'd be all about it. It'd be something different. But come, when Mississippi State's playing LSU this Saturday,
Right.
you ain't concerned.
I'm not worried about
Yeah.
what John Rahm's doing on 14
Yeah.
Is
Exactly.
the Ryder Cup every year?
every 2 years.
Every
Every
two
two
years.
years. So
It's-
wasn't
it's in
the last
Wisconsin right
one?
now.
Wasn't the last one like insane though? Or like I don't know. That's the only
They're
reason
all
why I-
insane, I think.
Is this you could like yell and shit? Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
They get a little more
I
fired
think it
up.
was.
yeah.
I think that it gets more fired up when we host it. Like I think 2 years ago was fine, but 4 years ago was the last one. I think
The
that
Minnesota
was
one.
I think that's the one where Rory and Patrick Reed were staring
That's
at each
the
other.
one where I
Yeah.
remember. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And that I do like those clips. I like that. I don't watch it as an event. And again, you just summed it up. It's during football season.
I mean Sunday. Yeah, I'm not gonna be watching.
And also, just for the record, I would never take this pick. I'm an American, but
Right. okay.
European team plus 220 is, I think, shockingly high.
I think they've won 5 out of the last 7. Right?
They've won 7 of the last 9.
7 of the last 9. Excuse
I just
me.
think that's still stunning for them to be. I feel like because I remember I think the last 2 years ago, I remember I bet on USA they were minus like 190. They lost.
Brandon, could West Virginia beat Oklahoma? No, they couldn't.
Not
I'm
on the
sorry, they
road.
couldn't. No, not even at home.
Stu mentioned he likes West Virginia yesterday.
Yeah, Stu mentioned a lot of things we're not going to talk about on the
That's
show.
fair. That is a very fair point. That was
forgot.
Yeah.
Me, I just saw Brandon in the hallway after. I just went like this, so I just said.
You can't control.
I
it,
didn't
man.
say it. I can't
I
control
I'm
what
sitting
Stu
here.
says.
I'm getting segments cut so we don't offend people online. But then we got a 60-year-old man say he wants a fucking intern. That's fine.
He. I don't know.
I'm going to change the subject brutally. We got Colby Nolan in the chat. Says Tony Finau to score the most points in Ryder Cup plus 1,600.
Tony Finau.
There we go.
Colby Nolan. Y'all remember Coley?
I have to put a
Colby?
little sprinkle on that.
Or Coley, either one. They're both.
I talked to Colby when I went to the Grateful Dead concert. He was proud of me.
Colby was there.
No,
He was at the Hartford when I went. He was at the Hartford when I went.
We were texting.
Him and O'Day were the other
He's a
one I went
friend.
to.
All right, let's go with college football lines. I have some games that I absolutely fear, like I'm scared of, but they make sense to me. I want to play them, but I'm just going to give you 3. Wake Forest tomorrow, +4
Yes.
against Virginia. I love Wake Forest.
Yes.
Wake Forest has been very good to me. Virginia on a Friday night feels like a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
These Friday night games, and I wouldn't mind doing research, but look what happened to UCF as 7-point favorites last week.
UNC Virginia Tech.
Yeah, at UNC at Virginia Tech. And now you got I just don't want any part of the road team in these Friday night games.
Virginia also bounced back spot off what happened last week. Everybody saw Wake beat Florida State, so I think I don't know. I'm staying away. This game's tough on the call.
They just got boat raced last week by North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
who that's actually a line I like as well.
11.5.
I like North Carolina.
You got to take Fresno State, right?
Yeah, they play
the
tomorrow
quarterback's really hurt
they'll
though.
be right.
The only thing
They're
is,
laying
third.
31.
no, but Hayner he's really banged up, so they may yank him out early if they got a lead in the second
Fine,
half.
but UNLV might be one of the worst teams in the country.
Oh, they are.
They're-
Tate Martell was out there last week.
They
I
had a
thought that
pretty
was pretty
tough
funny.
schedule.
Well, they have, but they're still bad.
For
I don't know
real.
why UNLV's had such a tough schedule.
Let's see with the all right. I think everybody's going to be on one side here, but I got a feeling Nebraska is going to give Michigan State issues. Like Michigan State's -5, they're at home. Why are they just -5 if they beat the shit out of Miami on the road and they beat the shit out of Northwestern on the road? Nebraska should be around where those two teams are. They're better than Northwestern. Maybe they're about the same as Miami. But I got a sneaking suspicion Nebraska is better than we think.
The line makes no sense.
Yeah, I think
Nebraska fought Oklahoma and only lost by 7 though. I mean, they were like getting 20 something.
that's what I'm saying.
So you think the line should be what?
What I'm saying is, I think the line is it is respecting Nebraska. I don't think the public respects Nebraska. I think Nebraska, that season opening loss to Illinois has colored our view of them, and we look at them as a really bad team, and they've been bad for a while. I think they're actually a pretty good team.
The Buffalo win looks even better after Coastal last week.
And see, and that's a kind of a point I wanted to bring up because I think the same goes for North Carolina, where when you get these primetime / standalone games, like both of them had, like Nebraska had, North Carolina had both ugly bad losses. Right. When you have that, especially week 1, it clouds your people's judgment for the whole season.
Yeah,
that's why. Like I loved North Carolina last week. They were only laying like 7.5 at Virginia.
Virginia was real public
people just the offense looked so bad. They're like everyone went from Sam Howell #1 pick to he stinks in one game. I don't operate like that. I don't quit on a guy for one bad game. It's college.
I do.
It was a bad environment. But that's a square way of thinking. That's why you're
No,
gonna
it's
make
not.
Yes, to quit on a guy after one game, yeah, it is.
It for sure is not square. It's just you look at the
think
game,
if you
it's
did
like
that, then you would have faded North Carolina last week. You would have got smoked.
I mean that's I don't look at it as like gambling wise. I look at it as like, well, that guy's just I'm out on him this year. That's a dud. The Heisman winner is a dud the first game. I'm out on him.
But I mean, he's probably not going to win the Heisman. But I'm saying I still think he'd be like a great NFL.
I still think
quarterback.
he's the best quarterback.
He could definitely be a good NFL quarterback.
But that's what I meant by saying I'm not like quitting on the guy. Like I think people just see like a bad game. You go in a tough environment. You lost all your weapons from last year. You look like shit. You throw a couple picks.
Yeah,
everyone gives up on you. And I think that's why Nebraska's. It's just an interesting line. I agree with you.
Also, when
second tough road game in row.
When Oklahoma beat Nebraska by 7. The reaction wasn't, "Oh, Nebraska's pretty good."
Yeah, it was
Oklahoma's
stinks.
bad.
Yep. Yeah.
What if that's
Agreed.
not true?
And now everyone's sucking Michigan State's dick.
Everybody, yes.
And Miami.
Like this line, I think if this line,
I'm staying away from
if
this.
this line
Good
was
point, Brandon.
double digits, people would be laying it with Michigan State.
Brandon, good point.
Nebraska's a pick where I think I'm probably gonna end up taking it just so if it wins, I can laugh at everyone and say, "Ha, I'm smarter than you."
Let's go with my last one that I fear. I like it, but I'm going to stay away from it. Missouri giving away 1.5 points at Boston College. Boston College without their quarterback. They've lost their quarterback. I think they're that's a really good coach, really good team. I like Missouri too, though. And on the surface, without the quarterback, I love Missouri to go on the road and win. But God, I don't know if I can trust Missouri on the road. I'm scared of it.
The line makes no sense, obviously. And 2, I think there's this thing with college quarterbacks that people think there's always such a big drop off. And I feel like in the NFL, that usually is the case. In college, it's usually not. Like Jerkovic is a solid quarterback, no question about it. But I just think people in college overact too much. How many times do you watch a college game, you see a kid get hurt, the next kid comes in, he's just as good. It happens a decent amount.
It's just a lot of variance.
It happens, but with Boston College, so much of them being good was Jerkovic. It was. I really thought he was the kind of the engine or the gas that fueled the engine there. And he was a big reason why people thought they were going to be really good this year.
I just think I don't think Mizzou's that great. I'm not a big believer in their what's his name. It's like Balsic. Bazelak.
Connor Bazelak. Yeah.
Like I'm not a big believer in him. Like I think we get a good defensive effort from BC in this game.
Yeah, it could be an under game.
A long trip though. Like Brandon kind of mentioned, 11 a.m. early game in Boston. A weird one for Missouri.
I just think the defense shows out for them, and they could grind out a win.
Now, here are the lines I just absolutely love. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so you can infer what my picks are going to be based on this. Did you?
Just one other game I'm scared of. I'd like to mention if possible.
Please.
A&M Arkansas 5.5.
Well, hold that thought.
Okay,
Brent, I think you
right.
You flipped me. I think on that.
I'm going to. That is in my. I want to make love to that pick. That's how much.
Okay.
It's my favorite pick of the week.
Carry on.
And in fact, I'll put it out front. It's my favorite pick of the week.
Okay.
Arkansas beat an overrated Texas team and then replaced them as being overrated. Arkansas is not a good football team. They're not a bad football team. Texas A&M is doing just enough. They are a good football team. They have an elite defense. Arkansas is not going to be able to score. A&M is going to hammer Arkansas this weekend. 5.5, and I get the best.
Down to 4.5 now.
I get one of the best defenses in the country against a team with a bad quarterback. Sign me up for it, Texas A&M.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but and I agree with you because I'm on Texas A&M. I think the public or fan, maybe casual fan, whatever, is seeing that they think that Texas A&M is the fraud team,
Right.
and Arkansas is not.
Right.
Meanwhile, they beat that shitty Texas team.
Yeah.
And A&M's been skating by these kind of shitty teams.
Right. Well,
And
they
then
only
this is-
skated by once, but yeah, you're right.
What, Colorado?
Yeah, 10-7 against
And he
Colorado.
got hurt, and that was the game.
Which
he
is
got hurt.
bad. It's not
Bad.
good. Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, there's really no. I know there's hurt, but you can't. Really, I don't think there's an excuse for that, no matter what, because they're bad. But I do think this is where Texas A&M, this is they gear up for this one and beat the shit out of them.
One of the best when you talk about individual units in the country, right? Coming into the year, we thought the Ohio State offense was one of the best, and it is. But the Texas A&M defense is one of the top 5 or 10 units in this country. They've given up. They gave up 13 to Kent State. They gave up nothing last week, and they gave up 7 to Colorado.
Yep.
They've given up 20 points in 3 games, and Arkansas has a bad quarterback, and they got some good receivers, good running back, but they're not going to beat up A&M like they beat up Texas. I mean, they bullied Texas. They're
Yeah.
not bullying Texas
No,
A&M.
for
They're going to
sure
get
not.
bullied.
Yeah.
So I love Texas A&M.
Yeah, my thing is I'm an idiot because last year they played this game on the road, and I thought this game was in Fayetteville until I got told it was not yesterday.
Can you stop right here?
Yeah.
Noah Cox says Arkansas is underrated and much better than Mississippi State. Why the fuck can I not talk about a game?
You know,
I
that
didn't
doesn't-
compare them
it
to
doesn't
fucking
matter.
Mississippi State.
It doesn't matter. I can never
These
say
people
anything.
are fucking idiots.
I can never say anything about it, and it just goes at the Yankees and Duke. It's I'm talking about other
I'm
teams.
talking about
Yeah.
Texas A&M. I'm paid to talk about Texas A&M and Arkansas. It has nothing to do with Mississippi State. You fucking cocksucking fuck.
It's always this. That was when I said that Matt Corral didn't make a throw that made me go wow, and then everyone started saying how bad C.J. Stroud was.
Right, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck does he have to do with Corral?
Sorry for cutting you
Who-
off.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. My thing is I thought this game was in Fayetteville, and I've seen through the years that's a super underrated home field advantage they have.
Right.
It being in Dallas, totally different game. These games in Dallas have been very similar year after year. A&M's won close games in the series 8 out of the last 10 years?
Well, they've won. I don't know about close games, but they've won the last 9 in the series.
Yeah, no, and I'm kind of coming around on the A&M side of it,
What's
too.
the-
Also, Jimbo, good coach. They're going to keep improving.
What's the? I know Texas A&M has a good defense. What's the over though?
It's low. It's 46, 47.
Fast turf.
Yeah.
Fast turf.
I keep saying.
But I think
We're just going to
A&M's
do fast turfs this week?
A&M's defense is going to fly around.
Fast.
Let's see. My other picks that I love Kentucky on the road at South Carolina -5.
Saw
Jesus
Doty's back.
Christ, this is
Quarterback.
bad.
That's fine. I think South Carolina's a bad football team. I think they have they lost 40-13 to Georgia, and their fans celebrated that they only lost by 27.
They covered the
Cover the
spread.
spread.
When you do,
I had SC plus
but
31.5.
when you do that as a fan base, and you're like, we're pretty good. We covered the spread. Yeah, you lost by 27 points. And there was never any doubt. That game was over immediately.
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
not something you need to hang your hat on. And Kentucky is underrated. They're just sneaking by. And last week they had one of those games where they won 28-23 against a bad football team.
Look ahead.
And I think they're just ready. They're primed and ready to go to South Carolina and just hammer the Cox.
Are we fucked?
Yeah, probably why.
I'm liking all these.
Yeah, we're definitely fucked.
I feel this.
That-
this,
that- I'm gonna stay away from.
Yeah, that one, the South Carolina's got a good home field advantage at night. Kentucky, known for playing close games. I'm not saying I like South Carolina. I just could see Kentucky winning close, too. Is very possible.
You know what I feel good about? I haven't had that good college weekend yet. I've been grinding. I've been 6-5, 11-10. I haven't had. I was
You went 6-2 week
I was
one.
13-5. I was 13-5 week 1. I guess that's a pretty good week. But I haven't had that 9-2 week yet, and I feel like that's coming. So,
Okay, I want this on the record.
Yes.
Brandon's going to have one of the worst weekends ever.
Fair enough.
TJ, do we have our college football?
You haven't had the bad one yet.
TJ, I'm curious. Do we have our updated college football standings?
Yeah, I can bring it up.
Specifically, I'm just curious. Yeah, I'd like to see them. And obviously,
I think Smitty's still
Yeah,
first, but we're all pretty good on college.
yeah, I think we've
football.
all been doing fairly well.
My third one that I like, I won't even talk about it. Mississippi State to beat LSU.
I'm writing a blog on why I hate how much I like it today.
I love Mississippi State. Almost too much. It almost seems like too easy.
I love Texas Tech plus 7.5 against Texas.
Me too.
And
I
Marty
know.
loves
Me
Texas.
too.
I don't know
Yeah, I
that
like
one.
Texas.
I don't know that one.
I just think it's a
Texas
back and
because
forth game. It could be last guy who has the ball last wins the game. When you're catching 7.5, that's a good spot to
Everyone's
be in.
off Texas, obviously, for reasons they should be, but this is a game.
I've been somebody who's been from before the year started. I've been on Texas Tech, and they've been good to me so far this year. They beat Houston. They covered the spread easily last week against FIU, especially in the second half. Just blew them out. They got a good. I think they have the better quarterback. I think they have the better offense in general. I think they're an underrated team.
I love. There you go. Smitty's up 11 units. Big Ev's up 7. I'm up 5. You're up 4. You're up 5. Megan's.
You see how he rounded mine down and rounded his up?
Nobody doing bad though.
I said 7.5, didn't I?
You said 7.
I mean, last
I?
place
You
is
said
only
7 and then
negative
gave
two.
yourself 5.
Let me stop. So Smitty's up 11.6 units. Big Ev's up 8 units. I'm up 5 units. Ben Mintz is up 4 units. Okay, and then Mega Making Money is even. Marty Mush is basically even. Enrico only down 2.5 units.
Nobody doing bad at all.
Huh?
How?
What?
We lost 15.
Well, no,
last
but
Saturday.
that's his system of like the 4-unit plays. We don't do that on here.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, we save him from himself.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, he would have got way more. That's true.
Facts.
All right. I think Marty's with me on this one. Why in the world is everybody in the world on a Wisconsin team that failed their only test of the season? They have had one test this season at home, and they failed it. And I know Notre Dame hasn't looked good, but why in the world is there 6.5 points difference for a Wisconsin team that I don't know if they can score? I don't know why
fair.
everybody's on Wisconsin.
It's fair.
That's a big number in this game.
I've been starting to kind of come back a little bit. I know I'm going to play it because we're going to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a weird – the line just doesn't make sense to me.
Can I tell you something the chat's saying, and I don't know if they're right or if they're all – but they are all saying it. Apparently C.J. Stroud might be out for Saturday.
So he has had a shoulder injury.
Okay. Well,
So it could that is possible.
I honestly could play against Akron. And
Kyle McCord and Jack Miller play will be fine.
Oh, by the way, Brandon versus this week is me against Marty Mush. Well, our 5 games will be out later today, so
Yes,
I won't tell you what they are.
Yeah, I know. It's so Ryan Day said on 97.1 The Fan that C.J. Stroud has taken the last few practices off. We'll basically just use Stroud in emergency capacities. So, yeah, he's not
I
going
don't know if I've ever said this if you were on the show. Every sports radio station in the country, AM or FM, is the game, the fan,
Or the ticket.
the ticket.
It's the Fan in Columbus.
What's
That's what it
the
was.
the game, the ticket, the fan? There were 4. The game, the ticket, the fan, and the score.
Yeah.
And
Those
the
are your
keg.
4. And that's in Omaha, Nebraska. The keg, but that's not a sports station. That was Classic Rock Station, and maybe the Zone.
We were the ticket in Bossier, Louisiana.
Everybody's the fucking ticket,
Dallas
the game,
one.
the score, the fan.
Back to what you were saying.
How come
though,
we haven't invented new names for radio stations? Go,
Middle management radio is not the smartest people I've ever seen.
go, Marty.
Notre Dame has to be the play. You're right where everyone's like, Wisconsin cannot score. They cannot.
He has looked so bad.
So bad.
He's been so
Which I'm
bad.
like, I was high on him coming into the year. He's really just been disappointing.
I mean, you don't think Jack Cohn wants to fucking whip
For sure
their
does.
ass?
There's a revenge quarterback
For sure
here,
does.
and Jack Cohn's been a lot better than people thought he
has.
would be.
And it's a
He
neutral
definitely has.
site where it's not even like it's Wisconsin jumping around and they lost. In
also,
Georgetown.
the grass, slow field, closer game.
And
Yeah, I mean, we're
the
all
past
True.
6 years,
That's true.
6 years, you put money line on 6 to 6.5. You're up $5,000 betting $100.
When did you come up with this stat?
I am statting it up today. I love
Shout
this
out
pick.
Ebo.
Yeah, I love this pick so much. I fucking love Notre Dame.
Brandon versus is out now, by the way.
Oh, it's out. Okay, yeah, it's out now. So hammer that on the Barstool Sportsbook. If you're in Illinois, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Colorado, Arizona, Tennessee, and Virginia. It's pretty good in one run.
We're live in
Boom.
so many states.
Yeah, 9 states. That's like almost a fifth of the states.
Almost 20%, yeah.
Yeah, almost. It's about 18%.
Yep.
All right. I love Notre Dame. And they look bad against – and I feel like people are going to just stay on these 2 games all year. They look bad against Toledo. They look bad against Florida State, period.
Yep.
Purdue ain't a bad football team.
No, they're not.
And they handled Purdue. They held them to what was the final score? They held them to 7
It was
points?
27-13.
27-13.
Purdue did throw a touchdown in the end zone that would have covered the spread. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah, well, that's a gambler's lament right there. But I just
that
think
hurt.
Notre Dame is getting punished like Wisconsin. I don't know. I think it's a very low-scoring game. I think it's a game in the fourth quarter. I think this is a 2 or 3 point game. 6.5 is wild.
Should be a 2.5 point
Yeah.
spread.
Yeah.
It's almost it's so big that it's making me like think the other way. Like, why is it so big?
So you like Wisconsin at that point?
I'm not making that pick yet, but it's making me feel that way.
I think this is literally all has to do with Florida State.
Them looking so bad after Notre Dame made them look so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Toledo as well. I mean,
Yes.
Toledo had them beat and just didn't finish
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You got something?
Yeah, I got one more game to bring up on here, and that's Clemson NC State. Because this one, Clemson's like 9.5, 10. After watching Clemson's offense play, I don't know how the hell you could ever lay 10 on the road. And NC State, I know that everybody's hating on them because what happened at Starkville, and I don't say much about, but that happens on the road in Starkville sometimes. Crazy atmosphere, things go wrong. State has a good D. This is about NC State has a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
this
so,
could be like
too.
a 16-13 game, 2017 that go away. NC State's not just because they had a bad game at State. I still think they're a pretty good football team.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm looking at them maybe money line, and also that's a lot of points in a game that I don't think can be a shootout. You know.
And they also brought back – NC State brought back every player of worth from last year. They brought back like 21, 22 starters. And what happened to start will happen, but there are other games they have destroyed teams.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroyed teams. And bad teams, but they're still just killing them. I think NC State is laying it. This is the biggest NC State game at home in years.
Oh, yeah.
And Clemson's vulnerable.
No, they're getting a Super Bowl effort for NC State.
So-
they also they've played well historically against Clemson.
NC State's 20-1 to win the ACC right now. I'm bringing this up because if they did beat Clemson, they'd have the tiebreaker in that division. And so if they did pull this upset, that ticket would have life. That's all I'm
Can I
saying.
bring up one more college game too?
Well, I got two more, but yeah, go ahead.
Western Kentucky. I
Yeah.
think Western Kentucky's the play. I think that's a money line
It's
sprinkle
Indiana?
game.
I think
yeah.
they win the football
at
game.
home. That's it. I think it's plus 240ish right now.
Yeah.
I think that's a sprinkle game.
What's the spread?
8. It's went down. It was
I
like
don't
9.5.
even think that-
I saw 8.
I don't think that's a sprinkle game. I think that's your pick game.
Well, I'm definitely
You do what you're gonna do,
I'm
but
hitting
I-
the plus 8 or whatever. It ends up being like pretty hard, but I'm definitely gonna put a little something on the money line. I think they could win this game because they're a team too. Just the way their offense is, they're never out of it.
Yeah.
You saw the way Indiana came out hot and then just slowly kind of just
Right.
like
Penix
Cincinnati just kinda
could
worked
screw
them.
this up on the road.
And that's
He
what I'm
definitely
saying.
could.
Western Kentucky,
Very
like, I
possible.
just think like they're gunslingers, man. The offense they run, they can just because this is a game too where I don't think it's gonna be like this. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they beat them wire to wire, especially in Kentucky. But that's another one too. We're saying where they could be down 2 touchdowns late, and all of a sudden it could be 3-point game in a couple minutes. Like they can really score.
I have a couple more, and one I just added out of spite, but I do love it. Memphis is 3-0, but them sons of bitches ain't 3-0.
Yeah, I like UTSA too.
UTSA is going to walk into Memphis and beat that shitty team. That's
They're a
not
good
a good
football team, man.
UTSA is good.
team.
UTSA is +4 right now, +3 maybe. UTSA is going to Memphis, and they're going to win that game. Memphis is not going to have the protection this week that they inexplicably had last week. They're not going to get dominated 500 yards to 200 yards, 26 first downs to 11. They're not going to do that again. UTSA is going to beat the shit out of Memphis in Memphis.
Well, what's interesting is UTSA is catching Memphis in the same spot they caught Illinois. Illinois off the big win against Nebraska, Memphis off their big win against Mississippi State. They're catching them in a perfect spot.
And then Stanford +4.5 against UCLA.
Stanford's got a bunch of people out. That's all.
That's still
The only
I
thing
don't
worth.
like that.
that's a pick and money line play for me as well. I think.
I just I'm now in the business of fading UCLA. We bought in
Yep.
too much too fast, and it just there's not a lot
Because
there.
we want UCLA to be good.
Chip Kelly, visor.
I kind of do want them to be good.
I would love UCLA to be
Yeah.
good. Every time I see a big Pac-12 power at least have a good game, I'm like, wow, I hope they're good. I hope they give us something to do at 11 o'clock at night, but it doesn't always happen. Name one team that's not good in college football right now that you want to be good.
Miami.
It's Miami, right?
Yeah, it
How
has to be
easy.
Miami.
Not even
Or
a thought.
Florida State too. I think both of those.
Miami, there's just something a little special about Miami when they're like good.
Yeah, I want a good Miami.
But Florida State, I agree, is like 1A, 1 would be with them. It feels weird that they've been this bad for this long.
We've had the same elite teams for too long in this country right now. Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama have been elite for like Alabama's running on 12 years now. Ohio State's for a while. Clemson's now for 7 or 8 years. But usually this thing cycles a lot faster than it's cycling right now. It's time to get some fresh blood at the top. Like USC needs to bubble up. Texas needs to bubble up. Somebody needs to get up there and take one of those spots.
Really, Urban needs to go somewhere.
Urban needs to
Urban
go.
needs to go to USC or build him back up. Because him building up USC will literally build up the whole conference.
Yeah.
I have one more game that's like a first cousin of Indiana, Western Kentucky. It's almost the same exact spread. Utah plus State plus 8.5 against Boise. 11 a.m.
Yes.
kick.
Yes, I'm glad you
Utah
brought that
State, Gary Anderson, who did a damn good job there, screwed up at Wisconsin, Oregon State. He's back at Utah State. They're 3-0. They won at Washington State as a 17.5 point underdog week 1. They're catching 8.5, 11 a.m. game. I know Boise killed UTEP, but Boise looked, I don't know. They just lost that Oklahoma State game. They're not at home. Utah State could win that game.
And that's another one, too, that everyone came in the year thought they were – wasn't their win total like 3 or 3.5? They're already 3-0.
Gary Anderson
They were
does
one of those.
well
They
there.
were a team that everyone thought was god-awful, and they are not. That was a line that stood out to me. Also, just really weird that game's at noon.
Gary Anderson or Blake Anderson?
Oh, it's Barry. It's Blake.
Blake
Yeah.
Anderson.
The guy-
No, Gary. It's Gary. Blake was the one that was Arkansas
yes,
State.
yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Gary's
Yes,
the
yes,
one
yes.
that quit at Wisconsin, then he quit at Oregon State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Let's
but
hit each other.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It was like he had very bizarre exits from Wisconsin to Oregon State where he basically was just like, F it, I'm out.
Do you guys think Oregon gets picked off at all?
I think they're in the most dangerous spot possible. You know what? You know where
because
they're
if
at
they
right
win
now?
out, they're in.
But you know where they're at? They're at that spot where the pundits are saying, I look at the schedule, I don't see a loss.
I'm about to look at the
I
schedule.
looked at it.
Right.
It's like Arizona this week.
They're gonna
Obviously,
win.
it's a
I like
win.
them first half.
Arizona's a little better than people think,
But don't
too.
sleep on
They're
Oregon's
28 and a
ability
half.
to just drop one that
On the
they
road.
should drop.
That's what I'm saying. I think they are going to. Like I mean, I could see UCLA at home. Like
At
picking them off.
Oregon's tough at home. At Stanford could be tricky. Stanford's got them through the years. That game at
Do you
Stanford.
know
They're at UCLA.
how rich that man is?
Who?
I don't know who that man is.
$3 billion.
How do you know?
He started Planet Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
Started Hard Rock Cafe.
Why do you know who that is?
Owned like a soccer team. Zod knows who he is. He owned a soccer team.
Oh, I didn't even know Zod just ran out of
Yeah,
the-
look at him. He's like that guy is one of the biggest deals ever. You know? How you doing, my guy?
Good to see you.
He's fucking. I mean, that's a guy. I
Maybe
would.
drop a couple $100,000 on the floor in here.
I mean, you
Can't
saw
pick it up.
Za literally ran out of the studio. When he
I've never
walked
seen
in.
Zod move that fast.
Yeah, I'll ask
You know
him.
who
He
you do
used
that
to
for?
own
A
a
billionaire?
soccer player.
All right, Zod, who is it?
Former.
I hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
The former owner of Everton.
Oh, wow.
So
Pretty big fucking team.
Okay, well, you didn't.
multi-billionaire
See, I know my people.
with a B.
Right, but who
Not
is
an
it?
M. You
You don't know his name. Okay.
So I met him the last time because he is a soccer guy.
Right.
Arteta, our Arsenal coach, used to be one of his players.
Uh-huh.
So he comes up to me. Jeremy introduces him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, this guy's a big Arsenal. He's a big Arsenal fan." He's like, "Oh yeah, I know the coach. You want to talk to him? That's my boy." I was like, "Wait, what?"
He owns like all Bertucci's. He owns all like the IHOPs. Like he.
Well, what's he doing here? Oh, owns all the IHOPs. That's funny to me.
All the IHOPs.
He's helping.
You
out
name an
with
IHOP,
the,
that motherfucker owns it.
I know he's helping out with the Barstool Bites.
Because
stuff.
every brand that you said is like a nice brand, like special, and it's like, oh, he also owns IHOP.
All the IHOPs.
I mean, to
All of
start Hard Rock Cafe and then just all of a sudden just do Planet
It
Hollywood.
is Blake
It's crazy.
Anderson.
No, it's Blake. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that was.
He lost Arkansas. He left Arkansas State for Utah State.
Okay, I thought it was Gary.
No,
was back
Blake.
there. Okay, I got confused.
Anyway,
I'm
I-
wrong. I apologize.
I could see.
He's
I,
the one whose wife died.
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I could see
apologize.
Oregon getting picked off UCLA or like just randomly next week in Stanford.
I think some of the teams we buried will be sitting right there in the playoff, whether it's Oklahoma or Ohio State, and I think some of the teams we've crowned, like maybe a Georgia or an Oregon, will slip up.
Yeah.
See, you want to know who could be in Oregon? Like
Robert
that's,
Earl is the name.
that's
by
when
the
a
way.
team like USC.
Look, I look at an Oregon schedule, and they
That's a clean name.
historically Oregon loses on the road when they're supposed to win games. Look at this road schedule: at Stanford, at UCLA, at Washington, at Utah. Utah's tough.
Utah
All those are
could- that
murder.
could be one.
So they could drop any of those.
I think
So
Utah stinks though.
Utah
they're
does.
good at home
Yeah,
though. They
it's a
stink
weird
on the
place
road,
to
and they're good at
play.
home.
I
They're
know,
they're
just-
real big home road
that's
splits.
the game where you just get that like Super Bowl.
Charlie
offer.
Brewer leaving was weird as hell though. Just like got benched and just
He got
quit.
benched and he just like
Just
he
quit,
said,
I'm
"I'm
outta
not
here."
playing football anymore.
All right.
I respect that. If you can't win, don't
He's
try.
like, you know what? He's
That's
like,
my-
God.
that's
Me and Marty
my
watched him
motto.
play in the Big 12 championship game, and that game didn't look great.
Not good.
All right, some pro lines. I look at this and I have no idea because I'm the worst NFL gambler in the world. But just on first glance,
Who's our best NFL gambler? I actually don't.
Have we identified that?
It has
Actually,
it on
I
the
think
thing.
I know I'm positive. I don't think I was in first.
I feel like I'm decent at it. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like world
I'm way
class, but
better.
I
You
feel
guys-
good about my
I'll tell you,
NFL.
I'm way better on Sunday than Saturday.
Did you guys see the caller last night that did the Candace on me?
Yeah, it's very funny.
I didn't see that.
I saw
actually.
Fred's retweeted it.
I'll have to watch it
Fred,
after.
Fred's retweeted it and said, "Come in," and y'all's tabs are on me.
Who's Fred?
Tigerland LSU bar.
Sounds like a great place to
a
get
half
herpes.
Mincy's a half Rico. When he sees the free things, he gets
Yeah,
a tingle.
No, he's not a
course.
half Rico. He's a whole Rico.
Oh, I'm a whole Rico. I'm on my first year deal. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm trying to
All right, so let's go with who is the? Did you got the NFL standings so far for this year? Za's over there just talking to somebody.
Zah doesn't know the show's going on. here.
Za has no idea the show's going
Zaz
on.
and all that.
Are you with us or are you with?
Zaz and all
Nah,
that.
well, so my job is to listen to whether you crack or not. No. So I'm.
Or are you listening?
No, not at all.
Okay, well.
I was thinking. What's it called? Stephanie owes me my our HR owes me my
Well,
receipt.
you can tell it's early because look at this shit. Megan's in.
What she must have had a parlay
She
or
had to.
something.
That's
She's got 9
7-1.
units with 10 and 7.
I love that she's 10-7. The rest of us.
I'll tell
are
you
just
what,
all in the
22 and
20s.
17 in the NFL.
17, 14 is beautiful too. That's great.
I mean, look at that. I see.
Also, Smitty.
I haven't had that many picks in 3 weeks.
Smitty is really good at having a lead and depleting it.
Well,
fast.
his strategy is to load up on one game with different bets. So when it goes bad, it goes really bad.
If we
Yes,
split,
awful,
if
too.
if we split, if we gave like 250 for the first half of the month and 250 for the last,
he'd win every time.
He'd win that every time. Yeah. All right. So I guess I don't know. I like Rams at
I do
home
too.
against the Bucks.
I like that
Didn't
side too.
sound confident at all.
I do.
I like
That's
the
my
Rams.
favorite pick. I like the Rams to beat the Bucks at home. I think that's two of the best teams in the league, and the Rams are at home. That's the only reason I kind of like them.
What do you think about the Pats? Saints look rough. It's tough.
I don't think the Patriots are very good. I think everybody thinks they're good, but I don't think they're very good. So
Yeah.
I like the Saints.
I hope you're right. I just don't
think
know
the
what to think. I
Patriots-
just don't know what to think.
The Patriots are a team right now that I think just aren't going to wow you when you watch them on the field, but they just are going to win like scrappy, tough.
It's still a rookie quarterback, you know, like
for sure.
They're
for
not
sure.
explosive on offense.
Like I
at all
don't think
either.
they're like I mean I wouldn't put them as like a top 5 team. I think is going to like win the Super Bowl this year, but they're a team that I feel like they're never going to like they're not going to look sexy on the field when you watch them, but they're going to end up winning 10, 11 games.
I'm doing alternate line on Chiefs Chargers.
What are you
I think
doing?
the Chiefs are going to beat the fuck out of them.
The Chargers play close games no matter who they
Chiefs
play.
never cover.
I don't think they are going. I think the Chargers are going to shit the bed here. I'm telling you.
Okay, that's
Or you
a
mean the
really
Rams?
do.
that's a risky pick. That's a dangerous pick.
The Rams, you mean?
No, the Chargers.
Wait, isn't it Chiefs? I thought it was Chiefs Rams.
No, it's Chiefs, Chargers,
Chargers.
Bucks, Rams.
Oh, Bucks. I'm sorry, I got that confused. I was thinking. I'm sorry, got those matchups.
That's all right. That's all right. I kind of love the Titans at home against the Colts.
That one's weird. So
It's a division game,
Wentz
so-
has 2 sprained ankles. Jacob Eason, when he played,
How
doesn't.
do you sprain both ankles?
That's what Smitty and I were talking about. It's like, how does that happen? How's he walking? You can't walk on 2.
The thing on
just limping on both
Eason
legs.
didn't look NFL ready. The thing on Tennessee though, I feel like Tennessee's becoming like Mississippi State, like that they're a good underdog and a bad favorite. Like I feel like I'm seeing that out of them just in general. Like Tennessee saw them win on the road last week at Seattle, but it just seems like they struggle in favorite spots a little bit. So I don't know. I'm just being.
Let's do tonight's picks.
G-Men by history.
I kind of like that too. Well, that must be tough for you. Your favorite team to
I'm
bet against your favorite
I've
team.
given up the Falcons. They're so fucking bad.
Here are my picks for. Let's say so. Rico, Big Ev is leading, so Big Ev will start us off. Big Ev, let's do tonight's picks.
I already said a few of them. I love the Texans plus 8.5. I also like Marshall plus 7.5. I like the over of 59, and then I have the Cardinal.
You didn't give the over though. You just said you like it.
No. I texted to him late in the chat. I sent my initial picks, and then like 30 minutes here I have it.
So that's on your card. Let's just make sure.
The over is on my card.
Very good.
I texted to him at 10:44, like
Got it.
10 minutes after.
Got it.
Add Marshall.
I did the
Epstein
same thing today.
over 59. So add that Marshall Epstein over 59. The Cardinals have won 13 in a row now.
Yeah, another one.
It's I just keep betting them and they keep winning. I will not get off the train. I'm
How
on the
do they
Cardinals.
do this every fucking
They
year?
do. They close every year like this.
It's
so
incredible.
annoying.
It's
annoying.
They're like how last month it was like Marty was winning because of the Yankees. I'm winning because of the Cardinals. I just bet the Cardinals every day and they just win every day.
Get good lines on them every day.
Plus
too.
money.
Yeah.
This one they're basically a pick 'em. They're a slight dog.
Marty Mush.
Oh, and I got the Indians game 1 money line too. White Sox stink.
Texans plus 8.5. I am adding Texans money line. I love
love
when
that.
I get back to Jersey, I'm gonna take Texans money line. I got the first touchdown is Brandon Cooks. I think it's plus 1,200. Davis Mills went to target him 10 times when he came in last week.
Okay.
They don't have any other receivers either.
White Sox game 1. I mean, they are abysmal lately. They need to clinch. They have 2 chances to clinch today. That's one of them. Twins money line. App State minus 7.
All right, I have got I sent TJ 5 texts. I went Texans +8, then I went Panthers minus, then I went Texans plus. So I said Panthers minus, so I said scratch it. I'm not doing that. Under 43 is my pick in the NFL game. Marshall +7 is my pick in the college game. And Alcorn State -4 on the road against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Alcorn State lost 28-21 on the road to South Alabama. South Alabama, not a good football team, but certainly a big step up from the SWAC. Alcorn State, I believe, covers the 4 on the road against Arkansas Pine Bluff tonight. Go.
Marshall +7, bounce back spot after the East Carolina game. Under 214.5 passing yards on Davis Mills. Over 66.5 receiving yards, DJ Moore. In MLB, where I have been a bottomless pit lately, Oakland by 1.5, Houston by 1.5, and over 4.5 Houston runs. And midweek MLB has ruined me.
I kind of like those 2 picks you put for the NFL game because I might do a parlay plus with my under and those 2 player props you just did.
DJ Moore is off to a huge start.
8, I think.
DJ Moore's off to a huge start. Darnold's targeting him as their number 1 a lot last couple games.
All right. Zah, you calm down from the billionaire being here?
Smitty.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I hate Smitty so much. Who even isn't? He's got a tennis pick. Why is he just throwing tennis favorites in here?
Everybody give that name an attempted pronunciation.
Nicholas Basilashvili. That actually wasn't
Actually,
bad.
that was very
Basilashvili. Basilashvili?
Basilashvili?
No, I think that's how you say because there's a MMA fighter that has like a similar ending
Basilashvili.
last name, and I know it's like
Marty, say it.
Marab.
Bashalavili.
I'd love to see.
Basilashvili.
All right, now, what do you think Dave would say that name as? Bashalovsky. All right. The Yak is up next. I won't be here tomorrow. Ben Mentz will have a Football Friday. Rico will be back. Maybe we'll get a couple of the ladies in here, too. That's Spec Central. Thank you.